Oink, oink, the piggies are circling the taxpayer trough. The feds want to move the election back a week, and that would mean that 80 additional MPs would get that sweet, sweet taxpayer-funded pension. But even if half of those MPs lose, moving the election back a week would still cost taxpayers tens of millions of dollars in extra pensions. How nice. Now, the annual starting pension would range between $32,000 and $49,000. But that is just the annual starting pension. And even that downplays just how lucrative these taxpayer-funded pensions for politicians are. So some MPs could serve for just 6 years and still collect a lifetime pension of more than $2 million. 6 years in office and a lifetime pension of more than $2 million for some of these MPs. Now, the government says that it wants to move the election back a week to avoid a religious holiday. Okay, well, I think if the government just asked any Canadian on the street what they think about this, most Canadians would say, well, if you're going to change the election, why don't you just move it a week early? Now, this just looks like the government is moving the election back so more MPs could take that very lucrative taxpayer-funded pension. And look, if politicians don't want to look shady, then they should stop doing shady stuff like this. But wait, folks, there is more bad news, because on April 1, the very same day that MPs take more money out of your wallet with higher carbon and alcohol taxes, they're going to be stuffing more money into their own. How nice. Now, this year's pay raise ranges between an estimated $8,100 all the way up to an extra $16,200. And after the pay raise, a backbench member of Parliament, along with collecting dust in the House of Commons, will be collecting an annual salary that's more than $200,000. A minister's salary will be just shy of $300,000. And the salary for Right Honourable Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, just north of $405,000. And folks, the April 1 pay raise, that'll be their 5th pay raise since the beginning of 2020. Now, what has happened to Canadians since the beginning of 2020? A pandemic, lockdowns, job losses, business closures, some businesses closing their doors for good, skyrocketing inflation, a housing crisis, and record lineups at food banks. But none of that stopped MPs from giving themselves a pay raise every single year. And MPs are about to take another pay raise on April 1, even though 80% of Canadians are against the MP pay raise. 80% of Canadians are against the April 1 MP pay raise. Now, Canadian taxpayers are supposed to be the boss. And Canadian taxpayers, the boss, don't think MPs deserve another raise. But we haven't heard a single member of Parliament from any political party forcefully try to stop this MP pay raise. I wonder why. Now, we often hear politicians say, we're all in this together. Well, I don't think they're talking about me and you and the rest of Canadian taxpayers. They're talking about the 338 of them here in Ottawa. Now, if you're sick and tired of all this, the piggies at the trough, just like I am, head over to taxpayer.com, join the growing taxpayer army, and sign one of those petitions, like Stop the MP Pay Raise.